afternoon. How's everybody? Just to follow on what Brad is saying, somebody much wiser than myself said that a boat is at its safest point when it's in the harbor. Boats aren't meant to be in the harbor. They're meant to sail. They're meant to go out. And as I say that because you can say it's much safer for someone to be on this side, not out working in the work zone. Those are very dangerous situations, but that work still has to be done. So some of the things I just want to present to you, and by the way, I do have some good news. So I didn't save a lot on my car insurance, but I do have some good news for you. And the good news is I'm not going to be up here speaking to you for an hour. So that's something very good. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not going to be before you for an hour. I am going to try to help you when you do go out into the deep, whatever function you're in with work zones, whether you are a craft worker or whether you happen to be a supervisor or what have you. So just want to go over a few things with the work zone safety grant. For the past about 11 years, work zone fatalities have averaged over 1,000 a year. 2.7 a day, 2.2%. Last year, it was 2.2% of the total fatalities. 835 fatalities in 2007. There is some good news there in that for the first time, this is about a 10-year low. It dropped last year. It dropped about 17% over the previous year. So that number has come down. It's very good to hear, but that could be a variety of different reasons for that. It could be due to some of the fact that gasoline prices were going up, people were driving less, perhaps money was going down in state coffers, they weren't doing as many work zones, so exposures were going down. Those are all potential aspects. Also, we should let you know about approximately 40,000 people are injured every year as a result of work zones. The work zone safety grants came out of Section 1409 of Safety Law, which was our latest transportation bill. What's in the 1409, Section 1409, is that it coordinates very well with the work zone safety and mobility rule that was mentioned earlier by Joe, the temporary traffic control devices rule as well. The purpose is that we're trying to prevent highway work zone injuries and fatalities, and we're doing that through the existing training, providing existing training. We're doing it from guideline development, and we're also doing it from developing training materials based on those guidelines that have been developed. The target audience covers the whole gamut, from craft workers, traffic control, utility workers, law enforcement. It also covers the managers, supervisors, and these grants were awarded in the end of 2006 to nonprofit and not-for-profit organizations to get $5 million a year from 2006 to 2009, and there's a 20% match with them. I'll mention fairly shortly who those grantees were. Like magic. ATSA, the American Traffic Safety Services Association, received a grant. Grants cover 3 different areas. Area 1 is existing training, providing existing training. Area 2 is guideline development on work zone issues. And Area 3 is the development of training on those guidelines that were developed. ATSA did areas 1, 2, and 3. Labor's Health and Safety Fund also did areas 1, 2, and 3, coordination with ARPA. Is anyone from ATSA here? What about, I thought I heard Scott. Did I hear Scott a moment ago? Okay. Oh, okay, Walter. Okay. Well, just raise your hand, everybody from Labor's and ARPA, that team there. Okay. Wayne State University, Dr. Data, are you? Okay, Dr. Data is in the back. And also the Illinois Institute of Technology. They, Labor's did areas 1, 2, and 3. Wayne State covered areas 2 and 3. And Illinois Institute of Technology is doing areas 2 and 3. Now, as we mentioned mentioned, the objectives for Area 1 are the continuation and expansion of existing training programs. We've conducted quite a few training programs through ATSA and through Labor's Health and Safety Fund and ARPA. And we've also, as a matter of fact, from Area 1, we have, by the end of this year, we will have covered 46 of the 50 states, in addition to Puerto Rico and, let me see, a couple other different local areas, well, not so local areas. These are some of the courses that we have provided through Area 1. OSHA 10-hour construction course. How many people finished that up today, went yesterday and finished up today? One person, come on. I think two, okay, there's more, okay. The OSHA 10-hour course was finished up. Jerry, you here, Jerry? Yes, sir. How did it go yesterday and today? I can tell. I tell you, excited. So the OSHA 10-hour construction course was finished up today. Traffic control workers and flaggers, runovers, backovers, night work, and hazards of weather, springs and strings. As you look at those first ones that I just mentioned, those are more specific to the worker themselves. It's worker safety. The springs and the strains that a worker would get when they're outside, hazards that they need to understand about weather, hazards that they need to understand about working at night, the circadian rhythms of your heart doesn't, you're not used to working at night. There's a lot of various things that go on with a worker that they need to understand. The latter portion of these are more, I guess you say, more manager focused. Flagger instructor training, traffic control technician, traffic control supervisor, utility traffic control, nighttime traffic control, emergency traffic control, law enforcement, as well as what everyone should know. A few years ago, a police officer, while managing a work zone in Tennessee, parked in the buffer zone. And as a result of parking in the buffer zone, which his vehicle never should have been in, a stray vehicle hit him and he was killed. And that caused a lot of wheels to turn in motion, including, that was the genesis of this law enforcement course that we have, the Federal Highway developed, and that is now being taught by ATSA. Also, what everyone should know is a very basic 4-hour session on what everybody basically should know about zones. Area 2, on guideline development. We're assisting with implementation and attainment of compliance with the work zone rules. And we're also helping agencies to achieve the prevention and reduction of work zone injuries and fatalities. These are some of the areas that we have gone over. Positive protective devices, there's a lot of emphasis right now on barriers, when to use them, when not to use them, developing guidance on that. Also, high visibility garments, what is acceptable garment, what is not, with the new rule that was passed at the end of last year. Performance levels 2 and 3 are the only ones that are appropriate for work on federal highways. And also any highway, if you would, it would be better if you would always use performance class 2 or 3. Work zone planning data and impact analysis, pedestrian bicycle safety in work zones, maintenance, work zone safety, and also ANSI standard. There was a standard 10.47, is that right, Travis? Travis. And that was passed in January, was it not?
Pretty much through the review process, but over 90% of the votes were yes.
So that was in January. That's ANSI standard 10.47. And that probably within the next few months, certainly by the end of the year, that's going to be standard. Those are voluntary standards. It's not mandatory, but it's a voluntary standard put together by the industry. Positive separation and protection of workers, utility work zone guidelines, and application of speed management. That's another issue. How do you manage speed in a work zone? About 37% of all traffic fatalities have some speed-related component to it, so that's very important. Also, if I were to ask a question, what do you think is, other than cars and trucks, what do you think is the highest number of fatalities on the road. Where do you think that comes from? Answer there, it's open book. Okay, it's motorcycles. Last year, motorcycles were 13% of all fatalities. Now, that's pretty significant because the total fatalities on the highways dropped significantly last year. But motorcycles have gone up for the past 10 years. So it's 13% of all fatalities were from motorcycles. So we're trying to make the connection between the vulnerable user of motorcycles and also work zones, which is a vulnerable area as well. Also, one of the areas is subpart K, temporary traffic control. We're developing guidance on that. Some states have developed pretty good certain sections of that. We're putting that together, and we'll be coming together with a management with a module on that. Each of these areas that you see with the M by them, a module has been developed or is being developed on the guidelines. Two things that I'd like to just pull out for a moment are the work zone safety audit guidelines and the training materials. By the way, all of the grants will be finished approximately October 2010. But the road safety audits were conducted probably about in the early 1980s. How many of you have heard of road safety audits? How many of you have done them? Or okay, for road safety audits, one of the aspects that have not been covered is work zone safety audits. Something that focuses on work zone safety audits. The Illinois Institute of Technology is developing those guidelines where they're looking at pre-construction, construction, and post-construction. So that is being developed, and also a field manual when you go out to the field will be developed as well to help. And also the second area of area 2 I'd like to just mention momentarily is the utility work zone safety guidelines and training curricula. Dr. Data's team did a very good job at Wayne State coming together with some guidelines on that. In fact, one of the things that that's very different about a utility work zone is that it's not quite the same as being out on the highway. You're typically in an urban area, you're typically in a smaller area with you don't have as much right of way. So with utility work zone guidelines, they've developed a framework or a flow chart, if you will, that allows you to put in any of your characteristics of that situation, your speed, your location, the right of way, so on and so forth. It will tell you what typical application from the METCD to use for that particular application. In area 3, the focus of area 3 is to develop training on those guidelines that were developed in area 2 and helping to promote best practices. Some of the subject areas for area 3, nighttime work zone, full closure, road safety audits, as we mentioned, pedestrian accommodations, law enforcement, public information outreach. Some of the specific products that are coming out, the traffic control design specialist training by ATSA, urban work zone design training, work zone strategies, analytical tools, motorcycle bicycle considerations, maintenance and short duration, utility traffic control guidelines and training, train-the-trainer workshops by Wayne State developed that already. It's already available through a couple of different mechanisms, one of which is the work zone safety clearinghouse, and the other is it's coming out on a CD that has been put together by the Laborers Health and Safety Fund and ARPA. And that CD, on part 1 of that CD, has the worker information on it, and part 2 of the CD will have more information based on things for supervisors and managers. To date, we've trained over 18,000 people as a result of the grants. The Roadway Safety Plus CD is over 7,000. The OSHA 10-hour, about 1,500. ATSA Worker Safety, we've done about 10,500. And also Wayne State, 263, about 263 to the utility community. That was the Section 1409 of the Work Zone Safety Grants. However, something different, another grant that we manage is Section 1410 of Safety Loop. That began in 1998. That's the National Work Zone Safety Information Clearinghouse, workzonesafety.org. While we're here today, it's the sponsor of this conference. What we have placed on the clearinghouse is that we have a section for all of the grant deliverables. We have that there. Last time at the conference in end of 2007, the website was redesigned, more content, outreach promotion. It's also upgraded the web infrastructure as a very good search engine as well. How many have gone to the clearinghouse for, okay, you know, this is how it, this is the new look of the clearinghouse. You get about 11,000 unique visitors or hits a month. It has laws and regulations, work zone products, really a robust, customized searches. Anything you need to know on work zones, you can find it there. Another aspect of the clearinghouse is the listserv. We've got 725 registered users on it. There's also a link to, again, the work zone grants page. And Jerry, I thought I saw you as well. Jerry?
He's there. He's
Yeah, okay, you had, okay. The Work Zone Wizard, maybe that's a new nickname for you. I guess you're the Work Zone Wizard. There's a nice blog on the clearinghouse by P2G. It's done. And we also have the Safety Zone e-newsletter. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I talk into walking to the mic so we capture your voice.
While you're doing that, I will say that you can sign up for the course. The courses are available. The ASSA courses, you can go to ASSA.com. You can also do some of the other courses. You can, laborers, you can go to the clearinghouse for links to the Laborers Health and Safety Fund for some of those. Yes.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Ben Colucci. I'm from Puerto Rico, El Tap. Do you have a Spanish material that has been developed for work zone? And if so, in which states have you used that material?
Okay. We not only have Spanish, we have Portuguese and English. So, yes, I could not specifically name each state that it's been in. I know it's maybe Omar, did I know it's gone to, we've had some of the training in Puerto Rico. We've also had, I think, Jerry, you said you just started in Spanish. Where was that? It was Puerto Rico. Okay. So it has been taught, is in Spanish, it's been taught in Puerto Rico as well. Well, I know Jerry did. Okay, in Portuguese in New Jersey.
Maybe I can just add, the roadway safety training program, there will be a session on it tomorrow morning where we're going to demonstrate the newest version of it that's soon to be available. And also, of the older version, if you go to the clearinghouse, there's products down there that you can pick up. That program runs simultaneously or interchangeably in Spanish, English, Portuguese with audio files, so it's very easy to train even if you're not native speaking. So those programs are available and they continue to expand.
You can also bring materials in Spanish out of the CD too. There's everything available, like instructor guides or study guides and brochures in Spanish or English. Portuguese.
Some materials also being developed that will be laminated for another component of teaching. So I guess you say back to the pickup training courses. So I have, like Omar said, it's in a variety of different languages. You can learn it. You can learn it. The workers can pick it up that way as well. In addition to the, I think it's 76 different training centers that laborers has. So it's all across the country. Any more questions? Well, I would like, if there are not, I'd like to take this moment for one other thing, to give a plug for something else. Next month is National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. Who's heard of that? Okay. 6th through the 10th of April is National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week. And the Clearinghouse is also partnering with us this year on that event. The theme is Draft to Survive. Our future is riding on it. So if you'd like posters, that is available. If you go to ATSA.com, on the front of ATSA.com, you can order posters. You can also take a look at the poster. You can also get more information on the clearinghouse as well.
Any more questions for Morris?
How many people have any? I'm going to take a stretch here. Has anyone here taken any of the other than the over 10-hour class? Has anyone taken any of the other grant courses? Okay. Okay. Very good. So you're one of the 18,000. Consider yourself one of few. Okay. Please take it. We're trying to do better at that. Thank you for your time and your attention. And I also will say that for the past 2.5 years, it's been my pleasure to work with Brad and with all the other grantees. Because of that transition, this is basically, I guess you'd say, my last function with the work zone safety area, and moving on to the acting evaluation team leader. So thank you.